G'day YouTube, Max right here, and I hope everyone's having a great Memorial Day weekend for the Americans, and a big hello to the rest of the world. Just thought we'd check in with just a little bit of Bitcoin news and fun stuff over the weekend here. So we had, a bit of a pullback here for Bitcoin yesterday, and actually, if we take this out, this is actually going to show us, I'm pretty confident, an inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. Yeah, we have a left shoulder, we have a head, and we have a right shoulder. So this is an interesting, for those of you who don't know, an inverse head and shoulders pattern is a reversal pattern. So that's interesting. And you can see actually how important that is. You can see right here, you can see a head and shoulders pattern. So here was the left shoulder, down, head, down, right shoulder. And that was the signal of a reversal pattern, obviously. Bitcoin ran up, did its head and shoulders, turned over, came back down to $30,000. Right now, on a smaller scale, we're seeing an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Let me just go back and double check that one. But really what I wanted to talk about here is the news, actually. That's a little bit on the short term. I mean, you could, yeah. Yeah, this wick down here kind of breaks it a little bit, but you can see here was a head, left shoulder head, and right shoulder, and that did not materialize. And the definition of when it materializes, the head and shoulder pattern, the confirmation of the pattern is, that's not what I want. The confirmation of the pattern is the breaking of the neckline. So here was a failed head and shoulders. Let's go back and look at that again. The neckline is, where were we? There's the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. The neckline is the two troughs. You join the two troughs and break through. And the breaking through of that neckline is the confirmation of the pattern. And when that pattern confirms, it's this height here, is it, the target is there. So I'll show you that. We go from there to there. And if it breaks through, then that would put the price target up here. But it didn't break through, so the head and shoulders pattern never materialized. Let's go back and check it out. On the other one, if you do the same thing here with this neck and shoulders pattern, so you would take this height here to the trough or to the neckline, there's a couple of different ways to do it, and then from the breakout, you go down, and basically this wick, it hits pretty close. It's actually a little short. I think this if you do that process that I just did, you get down to about 27,000, and we only hit 30. But when this pattern broke out of the trend line, this is the confirmation. It breaks the neckline. That's confirmation that the head and shoulders is in play, and it plummets away. So that's kind of a little bit of fun thing in the charts today. But really, what I wanted to talk to today, actually more about the news, because there's just so much good stuff coming in for Bitcoin at the moment, and I'm just going to have to work off memory for most of it. And before we even get to that, I wanted to mention this. I don't know if I'm a little bit of a romantic at heart or a little bit of a softie, but I love my history, I love my economics, and I just see the battle that is unfolding in the world between the powers that be and the rest of us. And when I read this, just a sentence, Dear Bitcoiners, the stage is set, the drama is unfolding, and as the crescendo comes, we must not give in to tyranny. The path will be twisted and bumpy, and I'm honored to walk it to the end with you on my side. I don't know, just stuff. There's no greater place in the world to be than in the cryptocurrency community. I just love it. I adore it. I appreciate the people who are here. And I just love to see over the last 10 years, the people who understand the history, the significance, the tyranny that we're trying to thwart here with Bitcoin, are the people getting rich. I love that. I love that the Bitcoin haters don't get rich. I am sick to they take so much wealth from us through corrupt systems and taxation and inflation, and then they funnel it all to themselves and cycle it around a few times and donate it back to themselves, and it's just sickening. And it's so incredible to be here and a part of this this world where we just go ahead and build something new that just makes them all obsolete. And it is the most powerful tool for the fight against tyranny ever. And I very much have this system, this belief. I've had it for a very long time. The path will be twisted and bumpy, but I am honored to walk it to the end with you on my side. And I'll be walking this to the end for sure, no matter what. So a little fun one there. But by the way, let me know in the comments below. Do you, when I get like Bitcoin romantic, do you like that stuff? Or do you just want me to keep it to the history, keep it to the facts, keep it to the charts, spare me with your conspiracy theory nonsense. Let me know in the comments what you like. I'm happy to do more of it. I'm happy to do less of it. I'm a free market guy, so I want to deliver to the market whatever it is the market wants. So you let me know what you want, and I'll let you know. Now this is a cool one here. The Bitcoin now roughly has about the same amount of users as the internet had in 1997. And I just want you to think about that and why is Bitcoin and why is cryptocurrency so amazing in terms of wealth creation. When the internet came along, there was no wealth that was accumulated by the protocol or the investors of the protocol. HTTP gets invented and it's just a free gift to the world. And for being the first to use it, you don't really get much. You have to build a layer 2 company on top of it. And that still exists with Bitcoin. You get your Coinbases and your Krakens and your BlockFis and all those things are there, and you can get rich building layer 2 on top of it. Totally cool. But also what's happening in this one is the people who believe in the protocol and nothing else can go ahead and just buy some tokens, be it Bitcoin, be it Ethereum, be it some other altcoin, whatever. And it's so cool that the people who just understand this, see the force of nature that it is, can see 10, 20 years over the horizon. You know that those people who just know in their heart that this not only it will win, but also it must win. It must win. Honestly, to go another half century, and pass this world on to my children and their children, where central banks steal everything from everyone, is not acceptable. Hence, I'll walk this path until the end, no matter what. And so but it's the fact that it's making me stupid rich along the way is fantastic. And I know for people who have been in it, maybe you bought at 60,000 or 20,000 or 10,000 or 30,000, you're like, what the hell is this idiot talking about? I look forward to the day when you guys are, through several cycles and Bitcoin's $1 million a coin or $5 million a coin or $10 million a coin. And you're rich, and you've got your Bitcoin sitting in some DeFi project, earning you $300,000-$500,000 a year in passive income just by deploying your capital into a DeFi market. And I really hope that everyone gets to just drop 50%. To say I couldn't care less is an understatement. It just doesn't matter. It stopped mattering years ago. And I wish that for everybody, and I hope you guys get here. And I hope you have the fortitude to get to it, because right now, 100%, we see it every cycle, it's a necessary part of the things, is that the weak hands have to get shaken out. And that's what so I encourage you in your personal life. A lot of people are like, oh shit, I'm crypto rich, I'm DeFi rich, and some people would quit their job or something like that. Now I'm a full-time trader, I'm crushing it. I bought a coin and it went up 10x, and that means I'm a genius, I don't need a job anymore, and I'm quit. You're setting yourself up to be a weak hand. Don't do that. Don't do it. Keep working, keep accumulating, be a stronger hand. And if you can do that, no matter how much they try and shake you out, you're going to be in. And so I think now's a great time to get in, by the way. If you haven't got in at all, now is a great time. We've just pulled back 50%. I'm not saying it's going to be the lower. I'm not saying it can't go lower. It can. But I suspect probably not. I think we might be at the end here. And so it's just really, really good time for accumulation. But let's get to some of the news here. And I'm just going to do some of it from memory here, because actually there's one particular thing I wanted to show you. Was it over here? Oh yeah, the crypto fear and greed. Just so you know, that's back down to 10. I mean, very, very rarely do we get down here, although we have been here a couple of times. I mean, this is a triple bottom here, although we could punch through. But when everyone is scared, when everyone is fear, when terror is at its height, that is when you want to get in. You don't want to be getting in. We turn this into 3 months here. And when the greed index is up at 90s, 80s and 90s, that's the time to be selling. When the fear and greed index is down here in the 10s, 20s, that's the time to be buying. And so I just think whether if it goes down, if you're a strong hand, if it goes down to 25, if it goes down to 20, you're not going to care, because what's happening in the world. So you've got Biden announces his $6 trillion budget. They continue printing. It's just very, very simple. When the supply of something is massively increasing, and the supply of something else is not, by definition, this thing will be more valuable than that. And this is going to continue. Now, there's going to be short-term bumps and twists and turns and peaks and valleys. All that stuff is happening. But if you zoom out and look at the big picture, Is there any chance whatsoever that governments are going to stop spending money and creating money out of thin air and running budget deficits? The answer is zero, which means they've got to print money, which means but you need to find a place to protect yourself, because if you try and store your wealth in dollars with 100% certainty, you will lose. I think it's an extremely high likelihood that you will succeed in Bitcoin, but that's not by definition. By definition, holding your money in dollars, you lose. You must get out of dollars. So choose something. It can be real estate, it can be stocks, it can be Bitcoin. You choose what you got to choose. I chose Bitcoin 10 years ago. It's been very, very kind to me. I've sold trivial amounts along the way here and there, but basically I'm still a hodler from date dot. And I will continue with that strategy. I can see me being here for another 10 years. So, yeah, what else was there? Oh my God, just so much news. What's this one? 24% of Australians, a quarter of the country, is ready to accept Bitcoin as part of their salaries, a survey finds. Can you imagine? Just think of this. It's insane what's happening all over the world. There was an ETF launched in France this week, and this is huge. And there's the SEC in the US. They've kind of had their hand forced now. They've failed us, right? What did they do? So Canada has had a Bitcoin ETF for a while. Now France has got an ETF, and the USA is failing its citizens. Sorry, the SEC of the USA is failing its citizens, allowing other people to get in first on this very, very important transition. And this is the nature of a bureaucrat, right? If a bureaucrat if the SEC allows a Bitcoin ETF and it goes down and some people lose money, then maybe some pathetic loser bureaucrat is going to lose his job, right? But if he just says, no, you're not allowed to do it, then forget about all the money that would have been made. Usually the bureaucrat employee doesn't get punished for that. They get to keep their job. So bureaucrats are just extremely risk averse. And you saw that with stories. You see it not just in the financial markets, but the Dallas Buyers Club was a perfect instance. People always talk about, oh man, we need these authorities to help protect us from bad medicine and bad drugs. And what you don't understand is these people actually keep good drugs away from you because they're so incentivized to avoid danger, to avoid the risk, that they keep good life-saving drugs away from people. Likewise, we've got the SEC here keeping life-saving financial products away from people. And America is being left behind on this front, and it's the SEC's fault. And as other countries step up, these failures will be highlighted, and finally it'll cross the risk threshold for these extremely risk averse people, and they'll come on. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we get the ETF in the US here in the next year or two, and just the explosion that will happen as a result of that is going to be crazy. Because for institutions, custody, and all those kind of things, it's hard. It's not easy. Even for individuals, it's hard. I definitely encourage it because I want as decentralized that as possible. So I want you holding your own private keys to the best of your ability if you have the skill set to handle that. I mean, you don't need to be a rocket scientist, but it certainly is uncomfortable when you're holding large sums of wealth and you don't have the technological skills in the background, and you're worried about people hacking you. And yeah, if someone else comes and says they'll do it for you and it's insured and blah, 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 you feel more confident in that. If that's the route you need to go, no harm, no foul, do it. But if you can hold your private keys, it's highly recommended. I do want you to do that, both for yourself and for the broader ecosystem as well, just keeping it decentralized. So all these kinds of things are happening. The on-chain news is incredible. Like what's happening on-chain, the whales are just accumulating. It's the strong hands right now are accumulating, and the weak hands. It's the people who bought at 40, bought at 50, bought at 60. They're selling right now. They're panic selling. They threw some money onto a lucky altcoin. It went up and crashed back down, and now they're just terrified. They're like selling. These weak hands, they're the ones who are selling. Strong hands are accumulating, and that's supported with the on-chain evidence. So just lots and lots of good stuff going on there. Where else do we want to go? Is there anything else I want to talk about? Some cool memes here. Oh, this is a classic. So this guy, I had to watch it because I couldn't believe anyone could be so stupid. This guy, I believe it was a Chinese representative, as in Chinese Communist Party represented. He said, if Bitcoin is adopted by human society, we're all going to die. It was an absolute gem. It's worth going there for the shits and giggles. And he's completely serious. I mean, what he actually means is the Communist Party might die because, for obvious reasons, again, the central banking works the same way in every country in the world. And yeah, Venezuela has the third highest rate of Bitcoin adoption. Inflation, 2,940%. Coincidence? You've got to understand this. Inflation is inextricably linked to Bitcoin adoption. The more they print, the more you get Bitcoin adoption, the higher Bitcoin price you're going to get. So, it's just this is the place to be. I've believed it for many years, and I still believe it here today. And here is that news here. The SEC has commenced a formal review of 2 Bitcoin ETFs by Fidelity and Skybridge. So just all the stuff coming out. So there's just so much bullish news right now. I can't promise you that the price isn't going to go down before it goes back up, but I am so confident the price is going to be north of here and well north of here in the next little bit. Within a year, I expect to see 6-figure Bitcoin, and so that means at least a tripling. If you manage to get in now at today's price, 35,000. If that statement is true, you're going to end up tripling your Bitcoin. So it's just an excellent time to accumulate. Now, that's what I'm doing. I hope you guys are doing the same if you choose to do that. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. Do you overall, on a 2-year time horizon, do you think Bitcoin is going to be a winner or a dud from here over the 2-year time horizon? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button and please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.